to celebrate this Women's Day. Amen. To be empowered, to be inspired, and most importantly, to just continue on and be strong and live for Jesus. Amen. To bring someone else's soul into Christ. Amen. That is the Great Commission. That's what the preacher said on last night. That's what we are required to do. Now get ready, share. I'm going to read the scripture that's really familiar, but it's dear to the story, dear to my heart. This is something I live by. I read a proverb every day, along with other scriptures in the Bible, but I do read the proverb every single day. And I do that, and as I share my story, I share all my business. You can't leave. Really juicy. Amen. During my journey, I learned that wisdom is so important. So from that to this day, I share and I read a proverb every day. So this scripture comes from Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. It's very, very familiar. I'm going to start with the 5th verse. And I'm reading in the NIV version, and it just says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not." That's right, you all know it. To your own understanding. In all your ways. The Bible says we ought to submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Right, here I come. I'm coming down to you. It all started, and this is why it's important to pay attention, because I'm going to tie it in, because you all are the testimony. I have a little horse. So it all started in '89. I was attending college. And the college was Stockton State College, located in Pomona, New Jersey. I have some people here from Sicklerville. Amen. All right. And it's near Atlantic City. I know y'all don't know anything about Atlantic City. I know. But anyway, it's near Atlantic City. Okay, that's the part of Jersey where I was. And so I was about in my maybe 2nd or 3rd year of college. And I'm sitting in the cafeteria. And I can see the layout of the cafeteria. Stockton has changed a lot now. Built up like most things. But during that time, I can just see it was a small room, probably about the size of this. And I could see where all the sandwiches and the cold cuts were kind of like towards the back cat corner, right here. And then there were tables all throughout the cafeteria. I'm sitting in the cafeteria, and in walks this guy. And have you ever had something inside of you? I knew it was really Holy Spirit, but have you ever had something inside that you just said, "Don't do it"? That's all that voice said. Well, I noticed him. He noticed me. His name was Mark. Came in. We kind of locked eyes. He said, "Don't do it." But I figured, I was 22 at the time. And what harm could it be? I'm in college, right? Anybody here getting ready to go to college? Are you in college? All right. That's right. It's going to be beautiful years, but I just want to tell you the story, so keep your focus. Amen. So I'm in the cafeteria, and then comes along, we lock eyes. And that spirit said, "Don't do it." And I ignored it. I definitely ignored it. Because I was like, it can't be that bad. That's what I said. It can't be that bad. I mean, I'm in school. He actually was a part of the choir there at the school. So was I. I went to Stockton. I was a Christian young lady, and everybody knew me. I sang there too on the choir. So when we, I was like, what harm could this be? This a good guy, right? Here I am reasoning with the Lord. Yeah, that's what we do, don't we? We don't listen. Well, okay, one thing led to another, and then I became pregnant. So I knew then. I said, "Oh Lord." So now. Oh Lord, I tell you, that Holy Spirit something else, because I could still, that's why I can tell the story so vividly today, because I still remember, and I got pregnant now, I still remember the cafeteria where the cold cuts were, right, where the soda machines were located, where I sat, and Lawrence walked through that door, and when that spirit said, "Don't do it." So now I'm pregnant. And I said, "Oh God, I felt so guilty." I felt guilty. I was a Christian young lady. I knew I disappointed the Lord. I kind of saw my life trying to take a 360, because I was like, how am I going to finish school? All these things. So I really felt bad about the decision I made. But how many of you know sometimes some decisions are not reversible? So I really thought the worst of it was me walking through the hallways of Stockton State College, right? Pregnant, and I'm a Christian, people smoking, whispering. Praise God. So I said, you know, all right, that's what I got to deal with. You know, I'm not the first 22-year-old to have, you know, to be pregnant. You know, okay, here I go reasoning again. You know, right? I said, it'll be all right if I just have to go through that. So Lawrence then was asking. That was his name, Lawrence. Lawrence was asking my hand in marriage, but I was not. I had no intentions of going that far. None at all. You know, when I was in that cafeteria and even after the voice said don't do it, I was really like, I'm just going to mess around anyway. Just, you know, let's mess around a little bit. It ain't going to be a big thing. Have a little fun. It's college. You know, that's what I said. Right. Okay, now I'm pregnant. All right, ain't no just messing around no more. So now he's asking my hand in marriage. And I'm really not ready. I don't want to, had no intentions of doing it. But because I didn't want to bring the child into the world, I did live without my father. So I didn't want to do the same thing with the child I was carrying. So I obliged. I said yes. So I went on with the pregnancy and things seemed to be going okay. We were planning a wedding. But you know, my life changed because now I wasn't no longer a student. I remember years ago, my mother told me it was a young lady that got pregnant. We all used to play together, right? We all used to play together. And she was a young lady. She was about 15 when she got pregnant. And so I was like, I'm going over to Melanie's house because I want to go play with her. She had a baby. My mother said, she ain't no child no more. You can't play with her no more. So after I had that baby, I was no student no more. I had to move off campus because I had to start thinking about how I was going to take care of her family. And when I tell you we were poor, we were just struggling. We had no money. Couldn't afford rent. All right, but we're going to plan. We're going to try to. All I was thinking was like, let me just try to make it right. Sometimes when you're guilty and you really make so many bad decisions, the next decision is out of guilt. The next, and when your decisions are out of guilt, then they're not good. But I did oblige. I did plan for, we were planning for the wedding, and actually, my son Isaiah was born right before we actually got married. So Isaiah was born. That was his name. His name is Isaiah Jamal. Amen. And he came. Everything was wonderful. No problems at all throughout the pregnancy. Nothing at all. Lawrence and I got married. But anyway, during this time, things started happening with Isaiah. Isaiah developed a cough. About 2 months he was. So I was scared to death, because although I thought I was going to be all right, because I kept saying, oh, I'm like the first 22-year-old that was pregnant. I was scared to death. I didn't know what I was doing. So when the baby got sick, I did take the baby Isaiah to the pediatrician. And I listened to what the pediatrician said, and they said, this is in the 89, right? So the pediatrician gave me some drops called Nalgocon drops, which were drops that I would go to the pharmacy and I got them following the instructions, gave it to Isaiah. It seemed like it was getting a little better. Then all of a sudden, Isaiah's appetite began to decrease. So we know for an infant child, now this is about 4 or 5 months. For an infant child, that's a very serious thing. Yes, so actually the pediatrician, I go, we changed the formula, Okay, I followed the instructions again of the doctor. Gave him everything that I thought, was definitely right. Followed the physician's instructions. The final thing, I noticed, all beforehand, I did notice some motor skills in Isaiah began to develop. He was lifting his head up, pushing and stiffening, like little Desiree would do, just driving. Well, this morning, I'm looking at him, and he woke up. I didn't even know he was awake because he wasn't moving. So I just kind of looked over. We were in the bed together. I looked over at him and saw that Isaiah was awake. And I felt him. He was burning up. So he had this high fever, very high fever. When I picked him up, I noticed that his legs just buckled, so he wasn't even stiff. He was so lethargic. He was so weak. Called the pediatrician right away. The pediatrician said, go down to the emergency room where we were living in Atlantic City. At that time, it was just called Atlantic Medical Center, which was actually very known to treat infant children. This is 89, don't forget that. I took him in, we took him in, both Lawrence and I. And Isaiah was in there for about a week. Condition began to get worse and worse. All the tests were coming back negative. They didn't know what was wrong. We were there, scared to death, not really sure. At least I was there scared to death. I didn't know what was wrong with Isaiah. Finally, the doctor said, we're going to have him transferred to a hospital called St. Christopher's Hospital, which is located in Philadelphia. And St. Chris is like a teaching university. Right? Some of you from Sicklerville are familiar with it, right? St. Christopher's, they were wonderful. So we got there by ambulance. They tested Isaiah. All the tests again came back negative. They got right on it. And then they looked at Lawrence and I. And he said to us, the doctor, we're going to have to test the family for HIV. I think I really felt like my life flashed before me. So I thought the worst of it, as I said, was walking through the hallways and stuff. That's okay. I thought that was right. Some mistakes are not reversible. So that was a Friday. We were all tested. And this isn't really normal procedure, because at that time you used to have to wait at least 2 weeks before the blood work would come back. But because of the urgency and what was going on and Isaiah being so sick, my son, they came back with those results by Monday. And we were asked to return back to the hospital on Monday, so we did. When I walked in there, it was about 15, 16, maybe 20 doctors in there. And when I walked in there, I knew it wasn't good news. So it was like interns and all that in there. You know, just, the room was just filled, and they had us sit down. And they said, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Taylor at that time, her name was, you know, exception for me, but Isaiah has full-blown AIDS, and both you and Lawrence have HIV virus. All I can think about is that cafeteria. Broken. I felt so bad because I was like, Lord have mercy, my son is there. Pretty much dying because of a decision that I made. Come on. Oh my God, I was riddled with guilt. I didn't really want to see tomorrow. I was so young. I was only like 22. I didn't even know how to really articulate my feelings. I didn't even know how. All I could do was just focus my attention on my son Isaiah. And I said, you know, if there's no other purpose in this world, of course I'm his mother. I died right, and I was just at the hospital day and night. St. Christopher's did a wonderful job. But in '89, they had, you know, really nothing to treat children for the virus. So it seemed like Isaiah was improving some, and they said, you know what, Tangy, why don't you go home and get you some rest? But you know, when you're ridden with guilt, it's hard to make a decision. I didn't know if I should leave, if I should stay. I didn't know what to do. I teeter-totted with it. They was like, listen, we'll take care of him. He's going to be all right. Why don't you go home? So I did. I did go home. Guess the clock, I looked up at the clock and the phone rang. I think it was about 5 minutes to 12, midnight. I picked up the phone and they told me Isaiah passed away. Now then I felt like my world came to an end. Every decision I made was really based on Isaiah. I married Lawrence because of Isaiah. I did everything because of Isaiah. Now he's gone. So I said, okay, Lord, I really don't know what to do. I didn't want to start getting into blaming. I knew that wasn't going to help. So I just tried to act like it never happened. Isn't that silly? But you know, sometimes when you're in so much pain, you do everything to try to avoid it. Isn't that something? You know, you can't avoid it. So I tried to go back to school because I was like, listen, I only knew my son for 6 months. Let me just try to act like this never happened. I went back to class. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't get my thoughts together. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was 22. I couldn't articulate what in the world was wrong with me, but now I know. I was really depressed. I would act like everything was okay because I knew church so well, you know? And I could do that good. I could do that good. I acted like nothing was wrong. I would go and stop it and I act like nothing was wrong. And I would come home and die. Literally. Just. So this one morning I got up and I could hardly get out of the bed. I really didn't want to get out of the bed. I didn't want to finish living. I was really like ready to just leave. I was so painful. I was in such pain. And all I could do was crawl out the bed, literally. And I knew church. I knew most of my songs and everything. But at that time, all I could do was just fall out the bed. I got down on my knees. And I said, Lord, please help me. That's all I said. Oh, don't you thank God for His grace and His mercy? Hallelujah. The Lord showed up in that room. I'll never forget it. And He spoke to me audibly. It was twice He did it, but He speaks all the time. I want to have that. But these are two distinctive times that I love to share. This particular one, He said, "You shall live and not die." When I got up from that floor, I didn't feel like I was Superman. I didn't feel like that. Because I knew the circumstances that I was facing. I knew that every single week somebody was dying from the virus. I knew that. So when I got up from that floor, let me tell you what I began to understand. Faith the size of a mustard seed. Oh yeah, I used to quote it all the time. I used to quote it all the time and sing about it and everything. When I had to live it, I had faith the size of a mustard seed. I didn't know I was going to make it to the next minute. All I had to hold on to was what God said. I did it 1 minute at a time, and this is the God honest truth. 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour. I got to 1 day. I got to 1 month, 1 year. That's all I had to hold on to. So things are looking a little bit better. Lawrence and I were both finished school, and then he was going to a school called Eastern Theological Seminary. That's located in Philly. It's something else now. It's called Palmer. And so started looking up. I was going to enroll. I did enroll actually. Into Eastern University. I was finishing up some, my school. Things was fine, and then Lawrence began to get sick. Oh, and he just began to just waste away, and I don't know. Maybe some of us more seasoned. I can't believe I'm in that group now. Some of us more seasoned have seen that death of someone suffering from AIDS. But some young people may never see that. Praise the Lord. Because of how God has brought us through. Amen. But when I just watched Lawrence suffer, literally, and I had to take care of him, and I remember it got really hard. It got really hard because I knew he was dying. He was angry about dying and all that. And I got back down on my knees again. And I said the same thing. I knew church. I knew how to pray. I knew all those things. But all I could say again, Lord, please help me. Amen. I know the story sounds a little dreary, but here's where it starts to get really good. Here's where it starts to get really good. And the Lord spoke to me. This is the second time He spoke to me audibly. And He said, if you would love Lawrence as Christ loved the church. I can still see the room in the seminary when I got down on my knees. I can still see how it was set up. He said, I will restore to you everything that was ever lost. I went right back down to faith the size of a mustard seed. Because again, I knew what my circumstances were. And I was like, it's only going to be God. When you can just look at a circumstance, when it looks Lawrence until he died in July of 1996. I was 27 years old. I was living in Philly and just trying to continue to remember what the Lord said. Right? So during this time, you all become a part of it. During this time, I met up with Jonathan. Amen. Excuse me, Elder Still. Sorry, Jonathan. Amen. Elder Still, and he had that quiet Christian fellowship, and that really helped me. That really helped me. I was able to still continue on in my gifts and just feel a little bit like, okay, you just don't feel even worthy. I really did. All I just had was what Jesus said. I just tried to just live. This is where I met you all, and I was really at that little, real sensitive time in my life. I had just lost my husband, lost my son, I lost everything. And all I had was what the Lord said to me. This one time I go up North Jersey, because that's where I'm from. I grew up in Inglewood, I'm living in Hackensack now. So I'm in North Jersey, and I go to this thing called a Christian jam. And all that is just somebody playing some Christian music. And it's just an informal, I would say, way of worship. Just having a good time with the Lord. All Christian, everybody, it's kind of like when you're in your living room and you hear, some John P. Key song, you know what I mean? Just, hey, never shall forget what he's done for. You know how you just sing those kind of songs, right? Those old school songs. Yeah, that's what it was. So anyway, I'm at this party. This man is just DJing away. His name is Marvin. So Marvin and I began to talk. And one thing led to another. And I knew I was getting to that point in the relationship. Ladies, when you get to that point in the relationship, right? And it's kind of like, look at this, just getting ready to get like serious, right? So let me tell you, one of the things I learned taking care of Lawrence and being with Lawrence is what love really is. All right. So I know that love is something that you decide to do. It's very similar like family. So you can't just say, you know what, you get on my nerves, I don't like you, I want to turn my back. I mean, you may say that, right? We may say that, but you can't turn your back on your family. So I understood now, okay, I know what love is. It's something that you decide to do. It's not necessarily a feeling. It's not how you feel. So I understood that. But here's the important thing. I learned what love is not. And what love is not deceitful. Oh my God, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What I mean is, you can't lie or hold out information on somebody to manipulate them to love you. Okay? You can't do that. That's not love. It's not. Period. You can't hold that. So I was scared to death. I was like, oh my God, I have to tell this man, soup to nuts, what happened to me is that. Oh my God. So I, was a little punk. I did do it over the phone. So because I was living with my aunt in Philly, and I was like, okay, I'm going to say it today. I knew he was going to call a certain time, whatever. And I said, I'm going to just say it. I had it all worked out. That's sometimes you have things all worked out, right? You think you know so much, right? I just knew I knew so much. I said, he's going to be quiet on the phone. I already know. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the phone, I'm going to hang it up. I said, okay, I'll see you later. And I'm going to go to the mall and act like it never happened. I had it all worked out. But sometimes, when you do it God's way, told him how I lost my first husband. Told him about my diagnosis, everything, soup to nuts. He said, oh, I'm running the HIV ministry at my church. I know all about it. He started talking all about what he knew, his education in AIDS and HIV. And we were back and forth. The conversation went on for about an hour. Before I knew it, we were just talking. Oh my God. And Amen. Look at God. See that? Well, relationship grew and grew. And Marvin and I gotta show y'all a picture of Marvin because this is gonna be like a family reunion now. Y'all gonna we're gonna all shout just a second. I said, so Marvin and I got married in September of '99, September 17th to be exact. It's going on, excuse me. This year, September, will be 18 years. So, hallelujah! So, then we started talking after about a couple of years into the marriage about having a child. Well, that's where I got a little nervous because isn't it something about, I always talk about this term, your truth. Well, here was my truth. I knew in '89, statistically, a child born to an HIV-infected mother, it was a 50-50 chance of the child to live. You know, there were some mothers that were HIV and their children were fine. But what was my truth? Mine died. That's all I could remember. So my faith went right back down to faith the size of a mustard seed. And all I could remember was what God said. God said I was going to restore to you everything that was ever lost. That's all I had to hold on to when I walked in no doctor's office to consult and find out whether or not I can bear children.
Hallelujah.
So I walked around to a few and I found this one female. God bless her. I'm still in touch with her today. Her name is Arlene Bartigas. She is a Puerto Rican doctor that works in Newark. It's now called Rutgers, but it used to be called UMDMJ. And she said, Tangy, you can do this. She started talking. She's so educated. She just started talking about all this. And, just get your records and blah, blah, blah. So she went through a soup to nuts. And then she said, what we're going to do is that I would have to conceive through artificial insemination. You can talk to me after the service, okay? Because I didn't want to infect Marvin. Oh, by the way, we had to have that conversation before we became married. We did. It didn't just like magically just happen. All right, we had to talk about that. We had to talk about how we were going to be intimate. I had to give him again the chance to say, okay, intimacy means that I even have to wear a condom every time. All right. So I had to give him that chance to get through all of that. Yeah. Amen. But he did. So now I was at the point we did try the first time for the insemination, and I did conceive it. The second time I did, and so Kayla was born. September is where my mind goes. Amen. September 13th, 2003. She was 13. And here's where you see Jesus. She no violence, no trace, no nothing. My prognosis was 5 years. Let me tell you how true I knew that was. I didn't really mean that much, right? I'm getting ready to tell you how true. I didn't even know how it meant to me. I was just so engulfed and overwhelmed and everything. Maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, the same doctor that I've had for quite about 20 years now, he said, Tangy, let me tell you a story a little bit again. I forgot. When you came in here, what was your T-cell count? I said it was 125. He said, you only had about 4 or 5 years to live. Then I knew it was God. make a story. No matter what. No matter how.